Hello everybody and welcome back to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This is thejonnymar, and we are beginning the 6th dungeon of the Dark World. And we are actually skipping the 5th dungeon, the Ice Palace, to take on this dungeon, Misery Mire. And so I am going to be using my medallions, of course, quite regularly in this dungeon, as I have been, but I'm actually going to switch it up a little bit. And as you see, instead of using Ether, I'm going to be using Bombos quite a bit. And that's because these Wizrobe enemies are really, really painful and annoying. And if you don't take care of them as quickly as possible, they can really put a hurting on you. I think they do about 5 hearts worth of damage if you don't defeat them. Or get hit by them, I should say. Which is nothing to sneeze at. So this dungeon is all about finding keys and trying to find them in the quickest way possible, or the most efficient way. And so I think I kind of have that down. I'm not sure if my route is necessarily the quickest way through, but it definitely works for me, and so I'll be showing you it. So we do have one now, and if you continue over here to the right, this room actually has a couple keys in it. We'll take out all of these redhead skeletons. Here's one of them, and if you head down here, there's a switch, which didn't activate for some reason. And in this chest, as I take damage, is another one. So head north from here, and we're gonna grab our 3rd key, which is pretty much all we need. After that, we'll be able to continue on with the dungeon. We're also looking for a crystal switch, because as you see, the blue blocks are currently in the up position. And we need to get them down. So here's our crystal switch, and here's our 3rd key. We are ready to rock and roll. Jeez. All right, let's head back the way we came. Now this dungeon is very spread out, and so all of the items that we're looking for, the map, the compass, the big key, we have to run around like a fool to all the different areas of this floor. Here is the map. And really, for the most part, I don't even usually get the compass when I play this, because you have to go through an extra room and some extra effort, and it's not really worth it. Ugh. A lot of close calls so far. And I should have sprinted here, but oh well. A lot of that was the wrong button. A lot of enemies in this room. Take them out with Bombos. It always takes me a little bit of time to get used to the controls for this, because it's not the start button like it is in the SNES version on the Game Boy Advance. It's actually the Y trigger, or whatever you want to call it. In this room, you got to use the fire rod, and this is just to get to the compass. So if you're not going for the compass, you don't have to do this. You can just head south. But the start button actually brings up the continue and save screen, so that's why occasionally you'll see me make that mistake, where I hit that instead of the Y trigger. So we are hot on the trail of the big key, and we have to do another little lighting of the pedestal puzzle. And we also have to dodge these Wizrobes. So push these blocks out of the way. You have to do it in both rooms. This one's a little bit more dangerous, because you do have 3 Wizrobes. Wow, how did that miss? I'm not complaining, but geez. And now, get out your lantern and okay. Light all the pedestals. Come on, lights. And, see how much damage they do? Jeez. Now what this does is, if you remember from earlier dungeons, there are certain areas where you have to extend the room by doing something, and like the Sand Desert Palace, doing this opens up and extends the next door room. And if you don't do it, there's a telepathic tile in there that you can talk to Sahasrahla with, and he will tell you, Link, you need to light the 4 flames. And here's our big key. So we got the compass, we got the big key. That leaves just the special item of this dungeon. So, let's go get that. So we have to head back towards the main room. And there's a devious little trap coming up. So you need the hook shot for it. And so, whoa. Actually, I think there's an anti-fairy in this next room, so let's get out my magic powder. Yeah, there it is. Bam. All right. So get your hook shot. You need to shoot across to that little whoa, do it. Get on there. Oh. So yeah, you have to shoot across and then get on the stairwell there before it starts to fall. And now we got the cane of Samaria, which essentially is useful in only a very few and very limited circumstances. We do need it to finish this dungeon, and we needed to finish Turtle Rock, the seventh dungeon, but other than that, unless you're combo breakering, like I am, if combo breakering is a word, it doesn't really give you much besides that. Now what you do with it is if you use the staff, it creates a little block that you can then push around out of magic. And you can use that on switches that normally you wouldn't be able to activate otherwise, and there is one in this room. And I like to do this dungeon first, as I mentioned in my last episode, because there's a switch like that in Dungeon 5. And this cuts out a bunch of backtracking you would normally have to do. So head over here to the left. I'm gonna pull out my magic cape here, because otherwise there's this spiky thing that'll hit you. So we have to activate another crystal switch. So we have to come up here to the north and throw our boomerang and miss. Oh, we got it that time. And you can actually bomb above this little stone up here in the wall to the left, and it'll take you into a room with a bunch more rupees. But as you can see, I'm maxed out on my rupees currently. So we need another crystal switch. So bomb here to the north, and there it is. Hit the switch, and then watch out for the anti-fairies, and I'm gonna get nailed. Yep. For some reason, sometimes when you bomb the wall, it has like little rats that come out of it and hit you. Now, one more time, we have to hit the crystal switch. And we are almost done already with this dungeon. Not quite as fast as some of the other ones, but not too bad. Head up here to the north, head to the left, and we are ready for the boss, Vitrios, which is a giant eyeball. So what you need to do is stand over here to the left, and as his little eyes come at you, usually they come right for you. This is a little different. But just slash like a madman. And by standing to the left, you should be able to dodge all of his lightning attacks that he uses. Keep coming at me, boys. Ugh. Okay, maybe not. Come on, come after me. And you want to do it on the right side, because as you can see, Link is left-handed. Why is that last eyeball not coming after me? Come after me. Come on, jerk. Ugh. Come on. Wasting time. Okay, there we go. Anyway, Link is left-handed, so when you slash, he naturally comes from the left side. If you stand on the left side of the room, he'll actually get hit a bunch more from the right side. And once you kill all the little eyes, as you can see, you have to time him as he bounces and keep slashing him with the sword. It takes about 10 or so hits with your level 3 sword to kill him. And there he goes. Now, if you do get hit by him, it does massive damage. I think it takes like 7 or 8 hearts off. They really up the damage output on enemies starting with this dungeon. And that's mainly because the special item of the 5th dungeon is actually an armor that reduces your damage. So they expect you to have that armor. You're welcome. Well, I guess that's a good thing. So Aghanim is his pawn. That wasn't very nice of him. No, he didn't. Supervillains rarely plan on heroes actually succeeding. And she mentions going for Zelda as the last crystal, and again, that assumes that you already beat Dungeon 5. But since we haven't, we'll have to head there next. So, the next couple dungeons, we're gonna need some magic restoring potion. Well, we don't need it, but it definitely makes things a lot easier. So we're gonna head to the potion shop. We're gonna get rid of one of our fairies. And we're going to stock up with those 2 empty bottles with some magic and health restoring potion. Use up some of this maxed out rupees that we have. And also, because I do have so many rupees, I'm going to head back to the waterfall or pond of happiness. And I am going to cash in some rupees to upgrade my bombs and arrows. Now the max is, I think, 70 and 50. I'm not going to go that high, but I'm definitely going to go up to 50 and 20, and I'll be back for that heart piece in a bit. 50 and 25. So let's swim around here. This should all look familiar. And it serves 2 purposes because this is where the 5th dungeon is as well. So I'm going to upgrade my stuff, and I'll meet you back here in a little bit. Alright. So we are pretty much where I want to be with my arrows and bombs. And I also grabbed a fairy out of the other room, too, to give me max health. So to get to the 5th dungeon, just lift up this little block here. Step on the transporter, and bingo bango, we're here. So my next episode, we will take on the Ice Palace. So as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.